Hello, Mystic Travelers, and welcome to Tea and Spirits, where we give you a message from the spirit world through tea leaves. So, first week we worked with ancestors, last week with your spirit guides, and so this week I drew from the Goddess deck, one of the Goddess decks I have, and I drew Kali. And so, whether you want to think of this as a message from the spirits or whether you want to think of it as archetypal is fine. It's either way. So, Kali comes in different forms. You have like the vengeful form. But when it comes down to it, Kali is about, well, like it says here, it's liberation. It's about, but it's not just external liberation. It is the liberation of the mind, right? Of liberating yourself from the systems, destroying the systems. Sometimes, destroying those systems is extremely rough on you, right? Because those systems are ingrained in you. Those systems are easy because they're familiar, not because they're necessarily easy. And isn't that what change is? Change is difficult because we're scared of the unknown, and our nervous system is designed to keep us safe. Our brain wants to keep us safe. And so therefore, a lot of times we won't make the changes to liberate ourselves that we need to make because we're too scared that what's unfamiliar. Okay, let's go ahead and see what symbols are in your tea leaves today. Ooh, I see a scorpion here. Yeah, big old scorpion. Here we have a catfish. Oh, a catfish. That's interesting. A scorpion and a catfish. Usually I'm not like super predicty about stuff, but for some of you, you have been catfished or lied to in the sense of like somebody presented themselves as being a certain way or a certain person and then turned out that they were lying. And for some of you, you're dealing with a sun, moon, rising, or Venus, Scorpio. Okay. I usually like to pull about 3 important symbols out. There's a lot. I just have to figure out which one's the most important. Okay. All right. I see a, like a cow, or like a cow skull with horns. So that's almost like a Taurus. So some of you guys might have Taurus energy as well. Usually I don't really get specific in prediction, but for some of you guys, apparently you need to listen to this message very closely because you might be trapped in a situation with a Scorpio or Taurus, sun, moon, or rising, or Venus, that you might feel like you're kind of trapped in a situation with. And Kali, she does not go gentle into that good night. She wants to liberate you as you've never been liberated before. And, speaking to both divine masculine and divine feminine, because they're both within us, all of us, but those of you who identify as divine feminine, we're often taught that the powerful, no holds barred, that kind of feminine energy is not feminine energy, but it is. Kali proves to us that strength is not a masculine trait only, even though society might try to tell us that, right? Look at that. Burn it down. Sometimes you just have to burn it down. And, I mean this metaphorically. Stuff is moving very fast for you in this liberation, and it's because you've gotten a realization. Scorpio also means it stings, right? So something in your life has been stinging. Look at that. You've hit rock bottom with this situation. So for a lot of you, I feel like this is a relationship, whether it is, for a lot of you, it will be romantic, but, whether you're watching this now or 3 years from now, whatever, it'll come to you when it's meant to. And of course, take what resonates and leave the rest. But with the skull energy as well, a lot of us witchy people collect bones and things like that. I have a deer skull, and I get it ethically off of my farm. Like when I find bones, and I ask the earth if it's okay if I take it and all that good stuff. So there was a lot of giving people the benefit of a doubt. There was a lot of how do I say this? There was a lot of energy around you believing in someone's potential to your own demise, to your own distress, to your own detriment. And sorry, something else was catching my eye here. It is a crescent moon right here. So, I always think of this thing like a poem that I wrote years ago about like the sleeping moon, the crescent sleeping moon, yellow on her back. Lunar shadows sing to me in cold moments before dawn. And here we have so much moon imagery. I feel like you need to get in touch with your divine feminine. And like I said, it doesn't matter which gender you are. But so if you identify as a male, then, maybe work on finding your animus. Or is it anima? Anyway. And if you are in the divine feminine, how are you getting in touch with all aspects of it and not just specific aspects that you are limited to, divine femininity? Yeah, look at that. Queen of Cups. Kali is, it's the end of a cycle. So many of you guys are leaving a toxic relationship, whether it's a friendship, a family relationship, or a romantic relationship. Be careful. Those Scorpios and Taurus can be very, very stubborn and very, so, don't let yourself get confused. Yeah. As you're moving out of this Tower energy, you are sweeping it clean to get out of this illusion, to get out of this rock bottom energy, and to step into your sovereignty. The second line is all about your sovereignty, the ending of a cycle. And look, here we are. Oh, look, the crescent moon thing again. Yeah. Dancing on the moon. This Queen of Cups, drinking her emotions in fully and wholly without being drained, without that, creating a home within yourself. Kali is the epitome of strength. And, people forget that there are goddesses of war, that there are goddesses who, make men fall to their knees from their absolute power. We're so used to the divine feminine as the empress, as the nurturer. And, it is that, but it is also power, liberation, even destruction when need be. Because sometimes things need to be destroyed to be rebuilt better. Queen of Pentacles, look at that. There's so much queen energy here. So, with these images in the cup and this power of Kali sweeping through your life. So a lot of people are very scared to work with these powerful goddesses who don't fit the stereotypical modern idea of femininity. And they're scared, like working with the Morrigan or Hecate or Kali, because they're worried of unleashing a power that they can't control. Which, of course, these energies are powerful and you can't control it, whether you believe it's archetypes or, a separate energy or entity from you. But you have to remember they work on a different plane from us. We don't want to look through goddesses' eyes through human eyes, because our human concerns they're not petty. Kali's not petty, she's precise, right? She's going to cut through the crap. And by embracing that kind of energy, I'm not talking about violence and stuff. I'm talking about mental acuity. I'm talking about emotional precision. And you can call on the goddesses if you want, and you can call on them and say, please, can you help me remove this obstacle? Because, yes, we want to remove external obstacles, but so many of the obstacles that we face in our life are the obstacles within us. And there's no blame game here, because these obstacles, many of them are put in us on purpose to make us compliant, to get us to do what, we're supposed to do or whatever. Yeah. With this comes a new perspective. Looking at this situation, like I was saying, looking at it through the goddess's eyes rather than the human eyes, so that you don't, I think a lot of people don't work with deities or goddesses. And whether, like I said, whether it's the archetype or the actual deity, that's up to you. It really operates the same way. I don't know if many of you guys know this, but like Carl Jung recorded a phenomenon, the psychologist. He recorded a phenomenon where people, like, say, in the United States, would have dreams about Indian gods and goddesses, having never heard of them before. And as someone who has experienced something similar to this a few times in my life, where I dreamed of, actually quite a few times in my life, where I've dreamed of words in other languages, goddesses, things like that. And those are really personal stories, but I have had those dreams, and I know many people who've had those dreams of things that they could not know. This was actually recorded by, the famous psychologist Carl Jung, all over the world. And so that means somewhere in our subconscious minds is this archetype. It must be like genetic or something like that, because it comes up in people across the world. So that's why I was saying, whether there's a separate entity or whether it's just the collective unconscious, it functions the same way. So knowing that that power is within you. So when you feel small, when you feel like you're not enough, knowing that this Kali archetype lives in your subconscious, in the collective unconscious, and all you have to do is reach out and grab it. And like I said, if you feel comfortable with it, you can talk to her. And once again, you do not have to be of a certain religion. You do not have to be of a certain belief system. It does not contradicting other belief systems to tap into your archetypal subconscious mind, right? Nobody accuses someone of not being religious enough if they, follow the hero's journey or whatever. Justice. So this situation, like I said, for a lot of you, you're look at all this powerful energy. What I'm being told is a lot of you are honestly in very destructive emotional situations, or you have been, and you're recovering. But look at all this divine feminine energy coming your way, justice coming your way. And earlier I was talking about the Empress. And this is all coming together to help you move through this. And I feel like for so many of you, this is a message of hope. Because a lot of you are feeling like you're scared to trigger this tower moment. But call on the archetypal forces of feminine liberation, of feminine strength, of feminine power, and ask it to guide you through this tower moment so you can get through safely. And when we're talking about these destructive situations, just remember to reach out and get the help you need. There are whole networks out there to help you. And once again, when I'm talking about these things, I want to be very careful to say that if you feel like you're in a physically scary situation, because I feel that in some of these, go to the proper authorities, go get the help you need to stay physically safe as well. Okay. Justice is you loving yourself. Justice is, Kali with liberation. She is justice, right? She is justice. The ending of a cycle so that you can step into this very empowered energy. But with this hanged man next to Kali, and so I feel like you might have been really stubborn about this, because you feel like you could will, with this Taurus energy too, that you could really willpower your way through this situation. And there's a point where you're saying, what's the difference between someone like Kali, who is strong and can just cut through all the crap, and someone who willpowers their way? The difference is that she's not using her like own energy and resources. She's not depleting herself to do that because she's so empowered. So if you're depleting your resources, how can you reach out? You can reach out spiritually. You can reach out emotionally. You can reach out physically to other people to get the help you need and the support you need. And like with the Scorpion and Scorpio, keep yourself safe, because there have been a lot of stinging words. There have been a lot of rock bottom moments. So if you're here, I just want to tell you, you are so strong. And I'm going to do one of these badass affirmations for you. Because Kali is badass. You're badass. And it's a systemic problem to try and disempower that part of the feminine, divine feminine, to make it all delicate and dainty and no power. No. I mean, I love the delicate and dainty stuff. I like to do my nails and wear pretty dresses, but also when the time comes, I do not hold back. Look at that. I give myself permission to do what is right for my badass self. Yep. That's Kali wiping out obstacles. She's also calling you to wipe out your internal obstacles. The situation you're in, what part of it comes from programming? What part of it comes from fear of change? What part of it comes from fear of your own power? Because once you step into your own power, you are responsible after that, right? A lot of times, and I'm saying this from experience, there's never blame here. This is all about healing and shadow work. But I willed myself through very toxic relationship thinking, oh, I can do this. I can just a minute more and it'll be there. And like I said, that's different than just cutting out sharply, brutally, quickly things out of your life with no regret and no apologies, because they are not serving you. I'm always about compassion and stuff, but what's showing up in this situation is very toxic. And so I really, really hope that you will respect yourself, right, as you're moving through this. And I say this because in the past, before I got good at blocking people and cutting people out who disrespected me, I would give people chances and chances and chances when they were being so mean, because I would see, oh, they're doing this because of this and that. But I had to start looking at things through the Morrigan's eyes, through Kali's eyes, through the powerful feminine, right? Okay. What a powerful presence. And so please, thank you so much for being here. This is such powerful work, such deep work, such difficult work to look at. Take good care of yourselves, beloveds. You deserve it. And call on the help you need. And please comment below how this is moving in your life. And if you need to talk about anything, try our best to be here for you. And our best, I mean me and this wonderful community. Give yourself permission to do what is right for you, your badass self. Because you are badass, right? You remember, there's this great song by Emmeline called Cinderella's Dead. She's like, I forgot I was a bad bitch. Yeah, you remember how awesome you were, how awesome you felt. Compare that to how you feel now, not to make yourself feel bad, but to get your power back. To say, I'm not living this shrunk version of myself, this small version of myself. If I have to do a complete transmutation of my life, then that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm not going to live in 10 of Swords, rock bottom energy, when all this beautiful, powerful energy is sitting here waiting for me to embrace. I mean, this is so, just get over that hill and look at all this powerful, nurturing, fairness, not feeling like you have to bite your tongue, not feeling like you have to make yourself smaller or shut down or edit yourself, right? The right people don't make you edit yourself. Obviously there's no excuse to be a jerk or anything, but you don't have to edit yourself. You can be your silly self and no one makes you feel bad about it. So that leads you to this Four of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, just so much power. And Kali wants to wipe that open, wipe that clean for you. This archetypal energy wants to help you clear that out. So I would encourage you to look up more about Kali if you'd like. And I will see you next week, where we will get a message from your spirit guides. And then the week after that, we will do Akashic Records. And then we will just keep up this rotation. So it will be ancestors, spirit guides, deity archetypes, your higher self, and then Akashic Records. And we'll just kind of rotate through that and see what the tea leaves have to, and the oracles have to say to us. All right. Thank you so much for being here. And you're doing wonderful work. And I will see you next week.